today. And the Eagles flying high, unbeaten in the competition, led out by Captain Jeff Tuvey. A personal assignment of great height for him today. There's an Australian jumper waiting. Ridge, Elsgood, Moore, Hill, Hopewadi, Lyons, Tuvey, Gillespie, Hasler, Carroll, Menzies, Roberts, Kosef. 4 of them backing up from origin duties. Alan Langer takes the Broncos out. They haven't won here at Brookvale since 1992. Here's their side with Darren Smith back in the lineup. Brad Thorne goes into the second row, replacing Peter Ryan. O'Neill, Saylor, Hancock, Johns, Kahn, Walters, Langer, Lazarus, Kerrod Walters, G's, Thorne, Cannon, Smith. David Manson's the referee. Just a light breeze blowing down the ground. It's behind Brisbane for the first 40 minutes. Manly starts. Lazarus brings it back on the first occasion. The ball comes out. It'll be a penalty against Lyons for raking the ball out. One-on-one. You probably know my feelings on this rule now, but there it is. Brisbane then. With Andrew G reaching the 40-metre line. Now Cam. He's been almost to the halfway line. Peter Sterling joins me in commentary today.
A very important race for Brisbane to get a good start as Lazarus takes the ball 41 out from the Manly try line. They allowed points to be scored against them in the first minute against North a couple of weeks ago. It took them a long time to recover. They can't afford that kind of start against a Manly side so confident at the moment.
Example of Manly's intensity in defence delivered as they made that last run. The Brisbane side, Ridge is back there with work to do. Can he get it back into play? Ridge tackled in goal.
Took his time, Matthew Ridge, with an excellent kick. Put the ball into the in-goal area. It touched his leg. That meant that it was play on. Tremendous chase from Kevin Walters, as he always is, first down there to greet the ball carrier.
Ridge restarts and sends it back to Lazarus. His second hit up of the game will reach the 30-metre line, centre of the ground. Kosef underneath, Hasler over the top. Kerrod Walters now waiting for the call, and Andrew G takes it ahead, running at close quarters. O'Neill. And Julian will play a 25 out from the Manly line. Manly immediately under pressure with their defensive line now intact. They've got that together as Alan Can plays it back for Kerrod Walters to go off to the right for Langer to give on. Walters holds it back and then waits for the oncoming Michael Hancock, but it was a solid tackle. And the ball comes away with Kosef for Manly. They clear from their own 20-metre line now. Danny Moore buckled over and put away by Kerrod Walters and Brad Thorne. Hasler, Carroll. Great confrontation today between Carroll and Lazarus is expected.
He'll be looking for a big one. Mark Carroll missing state of origin through suspension. As Gillespie, the other front rower, takes it 30 out from his own line. Now Ian Roberts lines up. Good defence to start this game from both sides.
Roberts at 35 metres out from his own line. Carroll, this is how he likes it. He likes to get back and wind up. That run had more quality to it. 5 gone for Manly now as Rich comes up on the blind side to put the ball straight down to Wendell Saylor. Saylor now brings it back just inside the 40-metre line. No score in the big match, the clash of the round, as Langer goes from dummy half with the pass to the right, and Thorne is wrapped up around the legs. David Gillespie over the top. Des Hasler. A fair bit of experience combined with young Nick Kosef in the tackle. Kevin Walters holds it back. Darren Smith tries to breach the line. Smith 3 metres into Manly's area. Away now from Kevin Walters. They pick up Alan Can. He works it back to the central part of the park. 40-metre line. 4th tackle gone. Now for Kerrod Walters to give to Andrew G. He turns it in. Lazarus puts it down. Knock on. And there must have been a knock-on from Manly because Manson has ordered a double knock-on. Manly's loose head and feet.
A pat on the head there from his teammates to David Gillespie. Then Lazarus having a little bit of a look. And why not? Still one of the best hitters in the game, the Manly front rower. A couple of mistakes from Lazarus early in this game.
Tuvey working the scrum. Manly in the centre of the park. Tuvey runs at Hancock and he tries to put Hill down the ground. Hill is pulled down on the halfway line. The crowd loved it. Now a penalty goes to Manly. against the tackler. Hill and Wendell Saylor have words.
The penalty wasn't against Saylor. I think you'll find it was against Michael Hancock for pushing down in the tackle longer than the referee liked. There's Saylor on top. There's the push down from Hancock. That was the penalty. No love lost between Terry Hill and Wendell Saylor.
Manly finding the line now. 35 metres out from the Broncos line, and here's Carroll. The charging Bronco. 25 out. Carroll. Very, very much a player in contention for one of the green and gold jumpers to play New Zealand. First match on a Friday night, June 23 in Brisbane. 22 metres out now from the Broncos line as we come away to the blind side. A fairly wide blind side. Menzies was able to get from one, but he's pulled down on the 20-metre line. Menzies looking for his real form that has deserted him really in State of Origin. Gillespie did well. Hasler's there, tries to promote, lofts the ball out. Right back, battered down by Danny Moore. John Hopewadi inside the 10, looking for the corner. He gets it down. I think they're going to give a try. Manson looks at his touch judge. It's a try. John Hopewadi. That's 4 tries in 2 Winfield Cup matches. 3 wasn't it the other day against Canberra. Now 1 against Brisbane.
And he had plenty of work to do, but look at the quality play here from Danny Moore. Started by David Gillespie, got a great pass away with 2 tacklers hanging on. A Des Hasler pass, batted on by Danny Moore. That drew the winger in, Willie Kahn. And you see there, Hopewadi was able to stand up Chris Johns, and not many players in the game can do that.
Matthew Reid from the side. This will take all his expertise, and he's hooked it just a little. So Manly over Brisbane, 4-0 in Sunday. Starts, Langer getting dangerously close to being in front of the kicker. Carroll takes on the full, lumbers out to the 10, Hill shot. Tubi's made a mistake in the face of the goal mouth almost, and Kahn comes up with the ball for the Broncos. Play back and away from Langer to go on for Thorne in 28. There's the line, just 3 metres in front. Brisbane. Now Lazarus wants to take it up. He doesn't take it ahead himself. He hands it off for Can. And Alan Can will play it. The line is 5 metres away. Kerrod Walters is the dummy half. Now Langer. Langer came off the feet of Carroll. He's given them 6 more tackles now, because he did lean out and grab it with the hands as well. Darren Smith, a barging run away from dummy half. He's lost the ball. It'll be a penalty, and it is to Brisbane, raking it out. David Manson calling a halt. Now he says play on. Langer lets it deep. Oh, intercepted. Lions came out of the line. He goes out to the 40. Terry Hill supports him, and Hill is tackled 3 metres into Brisbane's area.
Well, I can't believe Brisbane didn't take the kick at goal as Lions looks on the blind side for Matthew Ridge. Brisbane defence getting back. It'll be a penalty. And we'll have a touch charge in now for a high tackle by Julian O'Neill. And here we go. It's on again.
Well, it's almost become commonplace this week in rugby league. It's still going on in there, but now the flames are subsiding.
A very strong tackle involving both Alan Can and Julian O'Neill was deemed to be high by the touch judge. That's why he was coming in.
Can't see that Ridge has got any case to answer. He certainly hasn't, as the penalty goes to his side. And he finds the line ridge, so he's quite okay, 25 metres away from the Brisbane line. Hasler, a tap of the football, and sends Carroll back to them. Carroll already ranking quite high on the hit-up count. That's his 5th of the game as Gillespie comes in for another. He bumps away from one, the old front row forward. He won't like me saying that, but he is in the veteran class. David Gillespie playing great football. Roberts is now 12 metres out from the Brisbane line, and they're in the centre of the park. Away now from Hasler. They go on for Kosef. He puts in a little bit of work as he comes to the defence line. Oh, Kosef almost got through. 2 metres out from the line. Hasler. Now it comes from Hasler. Then to Tooby. He dummies back on the inside. He takes the tackle, and that is 5 as they attempt to lift him, but they put him down, and Hasler gives it away for Lions. Inside for Ridge. Ridge looking to unload. Darren Smith has wrapped him up. Scooped away by Hasler. Lions puts it on the ground, and diving on the ball, putting his body on the line, was Julian O'Neill.
He made up for his earlier blemish, Julian O'Neill, by cleaning up that dangerous kick from Cliff Lyons and earning his side a penalty. A lot of pressure absorbed there by the Brisbane side. They're looking shaky in defence. O'Neill takes the pressure off. Much needed penalty kick, 18 out from his own line.
Kerrod Walters putting Andrew G back at the defence. And Brisbane now just promoting the ball beyond their 30-metre line. Twice they met last year, these two clubs. Manly won the corresponding game at Brookvale. Then the next time they met in the minor preliminary semi-final, Brisbane were too good at 16-4. The one that mattered went to Brisbane. The one here went to Manly. Brisbane haven't won here since 1992. As Kerrod Walters goes to the halfway, turns it back for his brother Kevin. Kevin again contending with plenty of Manly defence personnel. And Khan is on the loose ball, but it's been knocked on, according to David Manson.
Brisbane really putting a lot of pressure on themselves, forcing passes, not being able to clean up ball on the ground. Willie Khan went straight over the top of that one. We've got another touch judge in here to report an incident. Willie Khan being called out. Khan trying to dive on the ball that came loose. Hopewadi in to roll him into touch. Oh, Willie Khan just kicking out a little bit at the end there.
Nothing serious, he said to David Manson. So I asked the question, if it's not serious, why interfere? John Hopewadi looks like he's got the face paint on. So Manly come away with the scrum, and Lyons uses the Ridge decoy to find Terry Hill. He looks to get a one-hander back. Danny Moore was screaming for the ball, but Michael Hancock made the tackle secure. And now Kosef, who's proving very dangerous. Danny Moore supports well. His support play today, Danny Moore, has been excellent. Nick Kosef has been outstanding. Now it's with Roberts, short passing away for Carroll. Thorne comes out of the line, and the big men come together. Hasler keeps the wrap up, but Lyons switches it back. Tuvey with great hands, and then he's put away down on the 30-metre line. Brisbane's entered the park 4-0. Manly leading. Ridge works the blind. Kosef turns it in. Hill runs it towards the 20. He's put away. Powerful tackle there by G and Can. On the last tackle, Lyons now. Kerrod Walters came up quick. Ridge gave it away just as quickly. Then it's Roberts. Roberts looking to unload. He does that. Lyons was there to run around. He was waiting for a player to get onside. He found Danny Moore. Moore gives it back for Menzies. Menzies into a hole. Gets it away. It's loose on the ground and gone over the touchline. But the referee has ordered the turnover.
It's great football. Manly looking to keep the ball alive, trying to get a kick in on the last. A tremendous scrambling defence from Brisbane. The ball going over the sideline. Danny Moore desperately finding Steve Menzies, who throws the last pass.
So now it's Brisbane's turn. Excitement here at Brookvale, in front of a very big crowd as they come away to Lazarus. They cross the... Darren Smith was thinking about the next play. And now Terry Hill picks it up for Manly to take the tackle of Lazarus. So opportunities by Brisbane are being frittered away. They're not playing as confidently as Manly. And this is Menzies. Menzies trying to gain every available metre.
Well, the big difference between the two sides is the fact that one is controlling the football and the other paying no heed to their ball control at all as Manly go wide. Terry Hill trying to stand up. Hancock finds Elsgood back on the inside, but wrapped up by Saylor. They've got to start stringing together some sets of 6.
So it's Hasler a dummy half and decides to go for a run himself. He dances into the forward line. They didn't put him away. He then went further across. Ridge is the next player to handle for Manly. And Matthew Ridge is held and put away, banged into the ground by Lazarus over the top. And Hasler again is there for dummy half work. Carroll says, I want it. Up he goes, the big fella. Runs it straight at Langer. Hopewadi comes off his wing. He's able to stand and beat 2. Steps around a third. He's beaten Willie Khan again. He's away from Alan Langer. Now it's out with Danny Moore. Back into the centre for Kosef. Kosef's going to score. This has been miraculous. There might have been a centre the forward pass. But talk about support play, and what about John Hopewadi?
Yeah, Hopewadi going great. So too the try scorer, Nick Kosef. Beautiful hands to take that pass over the top at the end there. But Manly keeping the ball alive. Mark Carroll threw an ordinary pass. Hopewadi through some woeful defence there. And good defenders. He's beaten the likes of Chris Johnson, Willie Khan. Alan Langer came up with a tackle. That looked a touch forward. Danny Moore, that looked even further forward. Kosef with one arm able to take the ball in to score besides second try.
So Ridge now from close proximity converts the Manly try, and Manly lead. Just reflecting on that try on the replays, I would say definitely 2 forward passes. Carroll tackled on his 20-metre line. I guess people are rushing off to be critical of the referee, but what about the other 2 fellows? They didn't offer much support either, it would seem, as Cunningham comes out to the 30-metre line almost.
Cliff Lyons did limp from the field, so there must be some doubt as to whether he will take any further part in this match.
Oh, that's high. It's the same offender, Alan. It's Andrew G. Now, he was involved in the hit on Matthew Ridge. Andrew G. is under the microscope again.
That'll be the last warning. Andrew G. obviously being told to keep them down.
But it takes a pretty horrifying incident for him to just point the finger. He's always prepared to negotiate.
I think that's a good decision too, Ray.
I think the end of the negotiations is with us, though.
No doubt that's the case, but I do think that the tackle went up from the shoulder, up high, almost off the ball again, and it's a problem for referees. It can almost look worse than what it actually is. Des Hasler throws the face pass to Ian Roberts, who in turn offloads to Jeff Tuvey.
Tuvey just on his own side of the halfway. And Hasler uses Gillespie, and again the big front rowers run it at the small halves. Langer and Walters, they've been coming up in the line, but very often they're looking at blokes like Mark Carroll and David Gillespie. Hasler now 40 metres away from the Brisbane line. Manly leading 10-0 as Kosef supplied. That pass was forward from Tuvey. You see, Manson's back with the defence line, and there's a touch judge standing in line with the pass, and he still didn't say anything. The kick goes up in the air off the boot of Nick Kosef. It is batted back and then knocked on, and Brisbane get the advantage, and they try to use it. Kevin Walters using Willie Kahn. He runs into Roberts and Kosef and is put away.
The Brisbane now really need to value possession. That's a good run from Kerrod Walters, an easy 10 metres up the blind side. But what a marvellous season Nick Kosef is having for the Manly side, as Alan Can tackled 38 out from his own line. Kosef is actually playing 5'8" out there now with Cliff Lyons off the field, and he's doing it with ease.
I haven't got a breakdown on time in possession in your opponent's territory, but it would be ranking very high for Manly. As this ball goes over the dead ball line, it'll come back to the 20-metre point for the restart. 26 goes on, that's Matheson, and G comes off. Missed tackle statistic, most important. Brisbane have missed 13 tackles, and we haven't got a missed tackle on our statistics for Manly. So 13-0, the missed tackle count, and Brisbane leading in that department as Roberts' pass goes out the back, helped out by Brisbane. 6 more tackles. Hill ducked into that tackle, and he's put away. And that's the first tackle, says referee David Manson. Hasler's pass over for Tuvey. Tuvey steps off his left foot, goes to a gap. Here goes the little captain. He's up to the 30-metre line. Now, Menzies. He tries to fend away from Kahn. Kahn pulls him down. Menzies will play it close to the line. A bit of interference over there. Ridges with it. Kahn pulls him down. And here's Manson in the sin bin, is it? Yes, it's the sin bin. For which player? Willie Kahn, I believe.
Yes, they appeared to come to blows over there. Great break made by Jeff Tuvey. Equally good the cover defence from Brisbane, with O'Neill combining well with Willie Kahn. But then there was a misunderstanding over the play of the ball between one of the Brisbane players and the Manly players. Matthew Ridge decides to take the quick tap. Nick Kosef now finds, well, he misses Terry Hill, cleaned up by Elsgood.
Jack Elsgood down by Wendell Saylor, and they're just outside the 20-metre line. First tackle on this new set of 6, and here's Kosef again, A good strong run takes him inside that point. Hazel looks for Carroll. Carroll was the decoy. Gillespie is the runner. He stands and unloads. They've got 3. They've got 4 on 2. Moore goes for the corner. Hopewadi comes back in. I thought they could have kept going for the corner. They had 4 on 2. It's played by Hopewadi back for Menzies. Away to Hasler onto Tuvey. Tuvey then for Cunningham. Cunningham across and inside for Ridge. Ridge back for Roberts. Roberts flops the ball down for Cunningham. They're losing ground, Manly. Now Cunningham straightens it and he's put down. Looking at the tackle counts for the 2 forwards, Brisbane have been expected to make twice as many tackles in the forward line as Manly. The ball loose on the ground, and this will be a knock-on against the Eagles. So they've frittered away their chance here.
That's the problem in trying to do too much. Remember, they are up against 12 men. They're looking to keep the ball alive at all costs. I thought it was actually a Brisbane knock-on, but the referee has seen it the other way. Alan Langer feeds the scrum and wins it. Finds Kevin Walters, who kicks for Michael Hancock, who is just onside.
Hancock gets the bounce. He's away from Hopewadi. Roberts can't catch him. Elscott's coming across the ground. Will Hancock make it? Yes, he does. Hancock, he scores right on half-time.
Unbelievable work from the Broncos. The great thing about this side is their ability to absorb pressure and to hit back and to also attack from areas that they're not expected to. Only seconds out from half-time, and nobody in the whole ground expected the little kick over the top for Michael Hancock except the flying centre himself. He got a pretty good bounce, pushed through the tackle of Hopewadi. Ian Roberts did a good job to be there from the scrum base, but couldn't match it. And Jack Elsgood, a lot of territory to cover, couldn't get there in time.
Tough kick this, into the sun. O'Neill, it's wide. Won't be the first kicker to miss from there. David Manson starts the second half. Welcome back, wherever you're watching us. The most exciting first half of football, seeing Manly leading 10 points to 4 at the break. 2 tries to 1. The tackle count at half-time overall 115 to Brisbane, 81 to Manly.
It wasn't too exciting for the Brisbane side, Ray, when you consider the amount of mistakes that they did make. They had 15 uses of the football, and they only held on to it. They dropped it 10 times. There you can see an incredible error count against them. And it's amazing to think that they're within 1 converted try of the opposition with the ball that they did hand over. 9 handling errors to 1.
Kosef it is, who had a very strong first half, playing it now just outside the 40-metre line. Tackle number 5 has gone for Manly as the ball goes into the hands of Ridge, and Kerrod Walters commissioned to put some pressure on him. The fullback O'Neill comes away now with Wendell Saylor lurking in the background, looking for the pass, but O'Neill plays it on the 30-metre line. Saylor, he comes out now. He's got that ability to put a little jink into his run and run the 90 metres and score a try. He has to be watched at all times. This is Andrew G, almost to the halfway line. Kerrod Walters now. Such has been the case, such has been the pattern of this game, that Kerrod Walters, one of the best dummy half runners in the game, I don't think he's had that opportunity thus far. This is Thorne.
The defence, especially around marker from Manly, is very good. I read Kevin Walters in the first half. Kerrod, again, has had a pretty good game, despite the fact he hasn't been able to make many charges. As Steve Menzies plucks one out of the air, Alan Langer looking for the short kick. Didn't work. Straight away, Manly again go wide. Terry Hill slammed to the ground.
So Manly again coming back to the 40-metre line. Jack Elsgood on the side for Craig Hancock. And Manly, though Hancock is a fine winger and was rewarded with a rep jumper earlier this year. Here's Hasler making a scurry away from dummy half, then standing and offloading. Carroll across for Kosef, and Kosef is held there by, is that Darren Smith or Terry Madison? Let's just identify. It's Darren Smith as they play it on the last tackle. It's left to Ridge to put it in the air. It's high and across the ground. O'Neill with work to do. He's safe under pressure, O'Neill, and he puts it down. Here's a great chance for Manly. Manson allowing play to go on, though that ball appeared to strike Andrew G on the foot. Now, the send, Ben.
There's a professional foul there by Andrew G. If the referee had looked behind him, he had 5 Brisbane players offside. He could have sent any of them as well. And it's Andrew G, who's had an unhappy match in many respects, off to the bin.
He's called Hopewadi out for clapping and applauding Andrew G's misfortune. David Manson saying, look, take that out of your makeup, John, and you'll be a lot better for it. Here's Ridge taking the attempted penalty that I believe should have been forthcoming before that infringement. Manly extend to 12-4 over Brisbane now. Neil, the restart, and Carroll showing the finesse we don't expect from front row forwards. And then stampeding up to the 20-metre line for Jack Elsgood to be banged down.
Just to wrap for Steve Menzies as well in that last passage of play. He was the player for Manly who went through and hit Julian O'Neill with a very strong tackle, forcing the ball out. It was a great chase from the Manly back rower. And now David Gillespie, one of their best again, beats Alan Langer's tackle, looks to get a quick play of the ball going, and then Cunningham gets involved.
Cunningham was great against Canberra. He's got a lot more pace than I thought he had, Owen Cunningham, as Tuvey now goes across the face, and it's left to Ridge to display good hands and good reflexes. And now Julian O'Neill again confronted by those Pepsi jumpers. The Manly boys are down there in numbers. They make the tackle just beyond the 10-metre line for Kevin Walters to offload, and Brad Thorne comes out to the 20-metre line. Peter Ryan out of this match today. As Darren Smith takes a blindside run that ends just inside the 30-metre point. And here's Kerrod Walters making a dummy half contribution now. 12 metres on his own side of the halfway. Brisbane trailing by 12 points to 4. This is Alan Can, who's put down. They're playing with 12 men. Did he lose the ball getting up to play it? Langer, he puts the kick in low, bouncing down inside the 20-metre line. Johns is going down the ground fast. Hopewadi comes away off his 10-metre line, comes away. Kevin Walters, he beats him, he beats another. He beat Madison, he comes to Lazarus. He makes the tackle with Kevin Walters, but the crowd love this boy, John Hopewadi. Scored a try in the match today, scored 3 against Canberra. And Hasler comes across the halfway mark. 5 metres into Brisbane's area now. Menzies looking for runners. Then opting to take it himself. Hasler once more, and Roberts caught that ball right on the chin. Takes the tackle. Hasler supports. Hold the phone, says referee Manson. Keep it down, and he's going to penalise Brisbane again.
Well, the problems continue for Brisbane. Another chance here for points to be added. It's Alan Langer flying high on Ian Roberts.
So Ridge with the chance to put Manly deeper into the comfort zone. He does that. A further 2 points to the Eagles. And in front of their home crowd, they lead 14-4. Brisbane take us into the next chapter of play. And Ridge sending Carroll back again, and Carroll, the more time you give him to wind those big legs up, he's a hard target. Elsgood now. Flippy Lions won't be back in this game today. It's a hamstring problem.
Yes, it doesn't look as though they will need him the way that they're going as Terry Hill comes up the centre of the ruck.
This is Kosef. He goes to the outside. He finds Menzies. He goes back for Kosef, and he's on the 40-metre line now. This youth in the back row of Manly. I'm talking mainly of Kosef and Menzies. Great futures. And the other one that was in the back row on occasions, or replacing them, was a boy called Daniel Gartner. And what a fine prospect he was going to be, and still probably is. This is O'Neill now.
Well, I don't think there's a back row in the game who can throw as nice a pass as Nick Kosef. He throws the ball like a half or a 5'8" does, always out in front of the player, enabling them to run onto it. Right on the chest. And Alan Lang, as I say, running out of options here. The defence, swarming defence, the Manly Seagulls is just proving too much for the Broncos. They've got no answer at the moment.
Andrew G. cut down around the legs by Menzies. And he plays at 12 metres from the halfway. Kevin Walters goes across for Chris Johns. Johns inside. He picks up Terry Madison. And Madison is put away by Tuvey.
Solomon Hamano moving to the sideline for Manly. I would imagine Ian Roberts may be the player to come off as the Broncos go wide. Alan Cairn also out there for them, and O'Neill into some space.
O'Neill's over the 40-metre line. Ridge goes across and cuts him down. 25 out. 5 tackles gone. Sailor, he finds Hancock. Hancock comes across the park. He links up with his centre partner. Johns away for Madison. Madison turns it back, and then they knock on, and it breaks down for Brisbane. That'll be a turnover for Manly.
Great cover defence from Matthew Ridge. First break that Brisbane have made for a long time. In fact, it's Mark Carroll who leads the field for Solomon Hamano. Danny Moore getting involved now. O'Neill looked as though he could have gone all the way, but Matthew Ridge, a try saver.
30 yards from his own line. And it is Terry Hill who tries to go between Darren Smith and John Plath. 14-4, 2 tries to 1. No change to that statistic. But Ridge was handed 2 penalties by Brisbane. Hasler on the halfway using Roberts. And you saw an example. Look at that work there. The arm didn't touch the ground, even though he was tackled. Hasler across the Tuvey. Infield for Ridge. Ridge likewise Hamano. He's able to get away from Darren Smith, and that's a good trick. And now it's left to Andrew G to make the tackle. Ridge, a dummy half using Owen Cunningham. Cunningham, away it goes for Koseff. Koseff goes for the pedal. He's 22 metres out, centre of the ground, 5 tackles gone. Koseff to play it. Ridge, he kicks into the corner. He's looking for Jack Elsgood. Sailor's underneath it. And Sailor, oh, that's a magical take. Good work by him. Good work by Wendell Sailor. But it'll be a line drop out to restart.
Jack Elsgood was flying. The kick was pinpoint. Wendell Sailor never took his eye off the ball. It's a great take under extreme pressure.
Sailor is the name on everybody's lips these days. It's only 2 years ago Jack Elsgood was the Rookie of the Year, scoring 90-metre tries for Manly. And Ridge is 37 metres away from the Brisbane line.
Well, if you were told before this match that Cliff Lyons would be missing for 3/4 of the game, you would say that, well, Manly will struggle and their attacking game will suffer. It has not been the case at all. Koseff has settled in there beautifully, kept the ball alive at all costs. The second phase play off the likes of Ian Roberts has been tremendous. There it is there, offload to Owen Cunningham. Just a well-oiled machine, even without Cliff Lyons out there.
Hasler again. He realises that Brisbane are tired and he's running more and more from dummy half. He comes across to Langer, then to Koseff, then onto Cunningham. Cunningham back to Ridge. Ridge goes inside the 20-metre line. He's 15 out. He gets a pass away, but Langer's got it. Offside. And it's a penalty. It came off a Brisbane player into the hands of Langer. You'll find that's the way he's ruled. This pass has come off a Brisbane player onto Alan Langer.
Yes, Matthew Ridge trying to get the pass around the back of the Brisbane defender. It bounced off him into the arms of Alan Langer. It comes off Terry Madison and bounces up to Alf in an offside position. Kevin Walters has left the field. Brisbane side.
Ridge. From right in front, he doesn't miss these. All too often. He raises the flags and Manly rolling down the other side of the hill now. Julian O'Neill, whose kick-off of the shallower variety. And Roberts runs it back in front of a crowd of 24,500. Big crowd. I don't think they can accommodate a crowd of 27,500 like they did against Parramatta here in 1986. When those two great rivals of the 80s came together. I don't think they would fit them in anymore here. So 24,500 I think is right on capacity for the new look Brookvale Oval. And say thank you to them because the facilities for the fans and for the media and the television are absolutely outstanding.
Again, the smart play for Manly now would be the field goal. They lead by 2 converted tries, the 12 points. If they can make it 13, that will break the back of Brisbane, who are capable of scoring those points in a short period of time. As Terry Hill nearly gets into the clear. If they had to score 3 times, that's an impossibility.
To be down. Short ball up for Owen Cunningham, who puts it down. And play on, says referee Manson. Langer seizes the opportunity, goes looking for his fast men. Khan puts it down, and Hopewadi comes back. Langer goes up, makes the tackle on Hopewadi. He loses the ball. Manson sorts it out and says, play on. 6 more tackles, Manly. Manly crowd, they weren't impressed with Langer's tackle on Hopewadi. They were begging for a penalty, and then when he gave them 6 more tackles, the crowd sat down again. Terry Hill is 30 metres away from the Brisbane line. Now, Cunningham over the 20-metre line, ridden into the ground by Alan Cann.
Matthew Ridge pointing his players to the posts, but no doubt that he will line one up if possible. Ian Roberts working to centre field, finds Hasler.
Then away for Menzies. Menzies trailing around his legs is the number 9, Jared Walters. Hasler sees no markers. Then he runs it out for Gillespie, and Gillespie plays the ball. Hasler goes back for Ridge now. There's no pressure on him, and Ridge, he pops it over the uprights. 16 becomes 17, and Manly coasting to victory over Brisbane. O'Neill sending it deep, this time down to Ridge. 17-4. It's a long way back up the hill. 13 in arrears, as Peter said. They need to score a couple of times, and then they would still be a point short. Advance Bank, $1,000 Man of the Match award today. Looking for the best Manly player on the park, I guess, at this stage.
How difficult is that decision? It's the best game I've seen David Gillespie play for a couple of seasons. Nick Kosef has probably been their best to my mind, just with his involvement. John Hopewadi, what more can a winger do than his involvement?
Roberts has been great.
Haven't had a poor player out there, and Danny Moore continuing his great form of recent weeks. Matthew Ridge has been dominant. And that kick there, again, finds good field position. Julian O'Neill cleans up. It's been a good performance from Manly all over the park. That's why they're unbeaten on top of the table, because they share everything.
Of course, you watch now as Brisbane have got 5 players back behind the play the ball. I'm not making excuses for them, but the drain that Manly has placed on them, that's what has to be said. Manly has placed this drain on Brisbane, and Brisbane have added to their own problems as Gillespie comes off. And as Peter said, it's been a superb effort by David Gillespie.
They have added to their own problems, Ray, the Brisbane side, when you consider the fact they've had 2 players in the sin bin. So the workload, which was already fairly large after the first 20 minutes, was even worse when they've had a player short for a quarter of the match.
Well, the more we see of this Manly outfit in 1995, there's no doubts in my mind they're a better team than they were last year, when they were spoken about as a likely premiership contender. I think the records of the last few weeks speak for themselves. But Bob Fulton has, I think, this year got a real chance. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm switching from my original selection of Canberra, but this team, Manly, they give the impression they're going to be there on that last Sunday in September.
Can you imagine what Fatty would be like after a State of Origin win and a Manly victory?
Unbearable, but then again, he is normally. Carroll plays it now, and it's Kosef who comes across the back of the ruck. Menzies, he couldn't control it. It went out, and Tuvey comes up the centre. Darren Smith makes a tackle on him. Cunningham to the halfway. Terry Hill is there to support, and Hill is tackled 5 metres into Brisbane's area. There's a Bronco down injured. It's cramp for Darren Smith as Tuvey comes on for Hasler, and then it's away for Kosef. Up the middle goes Menzies. He's away from the front rower G. He's been pursued and caught by Michael Hancock. The ball is there for Brisbane's John Platt. He's away from Hopewadi. He's away from Hamano. Hopewadi's after him. Khan comes up, but it's all too late, and it goes over the sideline.
It's a penalty here for a high tackle against John Hopewadi. But it was tremendous defence, because John Platt was into the clear, trying to position his winger Willie Carter on the inside. They take the quick tap. The Broncos. Julian O'Neill, there's not much defence out there.
Well, he's away from a diving tackle by Roberts, and now he comes to a shuddering halt on the 20-metre line. He ran right across the park. He knocked back several options and then ran out of options. Sailor, a dummy half. Cam. Hasler goes high. Tooby goes low. 10 metres out from the line, Brisbane. 13 points behind. Langer, Plath to the line. Johns, out she goes. Smith, Khan, he'll make it, I think. Will he? No, it's been flagged away.
Well, even at this late stage, John Hopewadi, along with his Manly teammates, jealously guarding their try line. We'll see how close Willie Khan went. Line ball decision that, but the touch judge was in good position. Let's try and line up even a little bit better from this angle. You get the ball down before he goes over. No, I think it's a good decision. The arm was out.
Moore. Hamano. Oh, he's got another great pass away. Danny Moore was there to support and almost got away. He did with the pass. Kosef inside for Menzies. Menzies up to the 30. Picks up Hasler. Hasler. He looks for Ridge. He finds Ridge. They find Hill. Hill. He's over. Oh, what a sensational try. Hamano. He started it. And Terry Hill, he finished it. Great stuff.
We have seen some great tries this year. You won't see many better than this one. The linking of the forwards and the backs. Terry Hill, he's had plenty to say, both with his mouth and his play out there this afternoon. Tremendous ball from Solomon Hamano. Going to the line, such a strong man. Danny Moore gets a great pass away, attracting two defenders. What about this ball from Kosef on the inside to Menzies? Lurking there, realises that the pass to Hasler is the way to go. O'Neill spins out of the tackle, so Hasler continues to play on. Ridge out to Terry Hill, throws the dummy, too much speed out wide. A tremendous try.
Ridge from way out there, successful with the conversion. 23-4. There can be hardly any excuses from the Broncos. Man of the match is Nick Kosef. $1,000 from Advance Bank.